Hello.
Who was it?
Hey. Fat out.
No.
Don't sign off. What was I going to say?
I swear you say that same line every episode. You start off saying, hey.
No, I do. It's casual, you know. You don't want to, like, be weird and be like, hi, this is my podcast. Like, no, get out of here. Like, no, not doing that. I got caught up and talking to my parents about the Will and Jada thing.
Boy, they care about that.
I was well, I just wanted like old people's input on the situation, and yeah, they're just like, yeah, that marriage is done. So, yeah, that's a whole topic. Did you see that?
I mean,
part?
I briefly saw it, but I'm sure you'll fill me in.
Yeah, we'll get on that later. But if you had a kid, would you let your kid go to high school this fall?
No.
If they had the online option available.
Yeah, they're taking the online option.
Interesting.
What about you?
Yeah, the online. The only reason I think like people are wanting to throw their kids out there is because like the parent situation isn't that crazy at all. Like, isn't super distinguished, as in, like, you know, the parents have to like work a lot.
Right.
And so to them, they see school as like daycare.
But also, like, it depends on like the type of kid you have. So, like, sure, it might be like harder to measure, like if they're actually getting their work done or like what they're doing whenever, the parents are gone working. But like, if you set up disciplinary, like if you talk to them and say, hey, if you don't get your stuff done, these are the consequences of you not getting your stuff done. They should handle their stuff.
Yeah, you would think so, but
We got bad kids now.
There's a lot of bad kids out there. Like, I'm not.
And you already know they're gonna be turning up when their parents leave for work.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster.
They're inviting all their friends over. COVID parties are gonna happen this fall.
Yep. I mean, I'm like talking like Dallas ISD, Houston ISD, like school, like districts that aren't super crazy.
Yeah. So like, speaking of that, like, I'll answer the question in just a second. Like, I just read an email before I came on with you that UHD has announced like what they're gonna do for the fall, and you have 4 options. So the first option is all online, where they give you strict dates to get stuff done, and you don't meet with a professor. You just have to get all your assignments done, and that's how your grade will be counted. Option 2 was hybrid. So like, it's interesting. Like 1 week in class, 1 week online. That was the second option. Option 3 was all online, but you have to meet every single week at a certain time with your professor on like a Zoom conference. And then option 4 was just go to school.
Dang. What are you leaning towards?
Definitely option 1. All
online? Really?
Yeah.
I actually like the meeting once a week online thing.
Oh, the option 3, yeah.
I'd be down for that. Like, just to have like to see your professor and everything.
Okay, I would be down for option 3, but it also depends on what time my class is.
I guess. You don't want to go at night or something?
Well, I'm not against that, but like, if they're trying to offer like 4:30 on, Wednesday, like, I can't do that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
It just depends on the time.
Dang, yeah. Dang. Yes. Okay, so the thing that no one is talking about that needs to be talked about is how are they going to dictate the exams?
Like cheating?
Dang. Like, how are they going to check the fairness of a kid that is in school taking a test and a kid that's online taking a test.
I feel like they've never known how to, adjust that or handle that.
So,
It's
but
just gonna get worse.
yeah, but I will say there is a program. So I had to take a couple tests that they, what was it? Really very interesting. Like uh, you have to have your camera on while taking the test online.
Yes.
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is a scare tactic. They say they monitor your screen itself as well.
Yes.
I don't think that's true, but all I'm saying is like the closest thing they can do to like not is to prevent cheating is to just have your webcam on. But that you can get around that. I mean, like, let's be real, So that's the thing that's like no one is talking about because that's the whole point of school is the exams and try to like the score of that. Like I just know kids. I just know people, humans. It's like I just I just don't see the point in taking a test person we can take time.
Just because you have your webcam on doesn't mean I can exit out the browser and go search something like.
Exactly. So, yeah. So we'll see about that. So yeah, you said you wouldn't let your kid go back to school.
Not initially for the fall.
If I was like, well off and like, I was a flexible job, yeah, of course, online. But I just understand like the parents that like work all week. They don't want to leave their kid at home alone. Like that's just
disaster waiting to happen.
Especially like an only kid. Yeah.
You wouldn't leave me at home. You wouldn't leave me at home alone in high school.
No. I can see a situation where like you leave like a 17 or 18-year-old with like a 10-year-old or something. We're gonna see some weird stuff this fall. I saw a stat. I don't know how accurate this is, but Fort Worth ISD they talked with the parents. They polled the parents saying, "Would you home or have your kid take online classes or in school?" And like 57% said they wanted their kid in school, and
right.
So yeah, that's
Have you
crazy.
seen the whole argument? Like, what's your thoughts on like people don't believe the federal government should tell these schools how to be run? Like, it's been like a big topic on Twitter and Facebook all week.
Federal government. I think like it's every state for itself in a way. Yeah, I think isn't it? Because I feel like as a government, you just give the responsibility to like the governors of states and all that. But I just think like everyone is going to be synchronized. Like if one state's going to do something, the other 49 states are going to follow. Because then it's going to be like a weird competition and like how many people died in your state. No, how many people, and it's just going to be weird. And like New Mexico canceled all fall sports.
I saw that.
That's great. I am so glad I'm not like a 16 to 21-year-old right now. Oh my goodness. I feel bad. Like, the people that are like trying to get scholarships and all that. Like,
I thought about this the other day. I was like, man, like we literally graduated like the perfect time.
I don't like saying it because it's just like I don't want to like boast, but I'm just like, oh man, this is like a good time for this to be happening.
Like, I wonder how John's feeling. Like, John's the last like graduating like class that actually got to walk.
Oh yeah. Dang, that's true. But yeah, we'll see. All right, intro. This is a Shi-Fi podcast, episode 70. Shout out YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I got Josh back in the building. How have you been?
I've been good, man. I mean, I've just been working and wearing my mask at work. It's been a good time. Working with people who drive trucks are very interesting. They have some goofy personalities. My
Hmm.
second day at work, I had a situation where a couple came in to get one of their tractors, and not a typical tractor. So like a tractor is what's hooked up to a trailer. It's like 18-wheeler. Like you have the big trailer, and then you have the tractor that drives it. But anyways, so they came in to get their tractor repaired on, so they head back on the road. And so when I went to go pull it, and yes, like my little tiny self was in this like big old 26-inch tractor, like it's gigantic. But anyways, and we got in, and we were like, first they were in the building, and we were like, how can we help you? We were like, dang, can y'all smell that through the mask? We were like, what's that smell? And then we were like, oh, we know what this smell is. They were smoking that loud. And so when I got in the tractor, like pull it around to the shop, it smelled like they had just smoked the strongest gas in there. And so like standard protocols, like we're not allowed to like rent to them. So like they had been like a lease customer. So like we had dealt with them for a long time, blah, blah, blah. So we get our district manager there, and he was like, yeah, it smells like weed. And then this is so stupid. They promised they would submit a drug test the next day if they kept it. So we gave it to them, and they submitted a drug test the next day. However, the lady gave the husband a drug test. So like they didn't go somewhere special. Like she's like registered to give drug tests, so she took the drug test for him. So like it was a whole debacle.
Dang. Jeez. There was a couple?
Yes.
The white couple?
No, it was a black couple. And then so like while we're like telling them like, hey, you can't rent and like all this other stuff, like she's on my face. She's like, you gonna let them take away my business and like all this other stuff. I was like, ma'am, it is day 2. I was like, I'm on my second day. I just got here.
People get too extreme whenever they get accused. That's funny. Huh.
But she was high as a kite. She was talking to me, and I was like, ma'am. In my head, I was like, yeah. I was like, your eyes are bloodshot. She could not speak straight to save her life. Like, I was like, ma'am.
Feel that.
I was like, I know. I was like, I know this feeling, ma'am.
Yeah. What time was it? Like in the day? During the day?
This is literally half an hour before I got to go home. It was 4 p.m.
Oh, dang. They started early. Huh. Wow. Does it do like Friday nights and Saturday nights feel different with you like being up, you know?
So like every Friday I try to go play tennis. Like I try to do something active after the work week. And then for some reason I cannot sleep in anymore. Like this morning my body woke me up at 7:30. I cannot do it.
That's weird. Can't relate.
I can't do it. So like I can like, stay up late, but my body will wake me up between 6:30 and 7:30.
Dang, that's crazy. So interesting. Okay, so so you weren't like, were you like low key tired? Just like, it was like a normal, since it was like a 5-day.
I mean, like, since I'm like on my feet and like I'm moving around, I'm not always sitting down all the time. Like sometimes like, my feet feel tired and all that stuff, but like overall I haven't like felt like mentally tired or like drained or anything yet.
Hmm. Yeah. Is your mental good? Because like it like really affects people. I don't know. Whatever.
So like for me, like I deal with customers all day, and like some of them are really goofy and like say idiotic things, and like I'll be laughing, but obviously I can't be laughing like on the phone. But I'll put them on mute, then I laugh, and then I go back to the call. So anyways, but like I only get tired whenever we have a customer that's just being so belligerent and crazy. So like there was one guy that called, and like just because you make a reservation for a truck doesn't mean it's going to be there, because obviously like right now the way my office is running, we are at a utilization rate of almost 96%. So there's hardly any trucks on the yard to rent. So like it's very stressful. So like my office gives out to a lot of commercial businesses. So like right now the Houston Food Bank has a good chunk of our vans because they're traveling across like the state to give food to unfortunate families and all that stuff. or UPS is also one of our big rental customers. And so this one guy, he was just like upset. He was like, how could you not have my 26-inch van? Blah, 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 blah. Who's your manager? And he was just like going on. He was just like, I'm going to call customer service and I'm going to report you. All this stuff. You're so unprofessional. How did you have a job? Blah, 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 blah. And I was just sitting there like taking it with a grain of salt and then, just hung up on him.
I've never experienced something like that before, but like, I just picture myself just being like, I don't care, man. Just, what are you trying to, like, when I say that, like, how do you have a job? I just feel like I'll just be like, I don't know. Like, I would, like, give in to their foolishness. Just, yeah, it's icky. But, let's see. What?
My coworker, he's a fifth.
He's a what?
A fifth. Like, there's 5 of them. Yes.
A fifth.
Yes, like, how you pass it down like Shia LaBeouf has in the first, the second.
Oh, dang.
And he's like,
okay.
And like, he's just like very like interesting. Like, he's 37 with 4 kids. Like, he's a cool dude, but he's just very interesting. He's very hyper. So like, I like him. I like his energy.
Dang. You said hyper, like talkative and stuff?
He's like talkative and like, yeah, he gets like excited.
I feel that. Let's see. I mentioned I recorded an episode like last week, like by myself, and I was like kind of mentioning like the episode before. I said we were talking about the moving out and stuff.
Yeah.
And I said 25, and I was just kind of like, that's low, like just generic. Okay. I think that was a goal for me. I think that's a goal for me personally. But like, I'm not gonna judge or like anything of like someone moving back in their parents' house in their 30s or like 28.
Right.
Everyone's different. Like, and I feel like moving into your parents' house is like such a strong power move too. And like continuing to waste money on like an apartment or something.
It shows like you're not prideful. Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah. But personally, just because I've never like, my thing, I just kind of want to move out and never come back again. So I know I like when I move out, it's going to be like a big deal.
Yeah, like I did it. Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever.
I mean, I agree with you in that sense. For me, I'm like, all right, 18 to 25, like 7 years is a good enough time to figure out, like, have some direction in your life, like, not have all the answers, maybe, but, have some answers. And, like, for me, I'm just like, all right, so I get paid weekly, which is nice. Like, every Friday, like, I get a check, Every Friday morning it pops up. So, like, it's kind of nice. So, like, now I'm like, all right, I set, like, a budget. Like, I'm going to save this amount. I'm going to put this amount of money in savings. Don't touch it, blah, blah, blah. So, like, in 2 years, like, I can move out at 25. And I'm just like, that's a good enough goal. But, like, I think for people, our generation's either very prideful in the sense, like, they have to live on their own right away and they'll struggle to do that, which I've never understood. Or they're just kind of, like, slow as snails. They'll be like, yeah, I'll move out when I'm, like, 30, 40.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, someone just don't think about it. Let's see.
Do you prefer to get paid weekly, or some people prefer to get paid bi-weekly? I think it's just a stigma for the bi-weekly people.
I don't even care.
Just pay me.
Like, as long as if I get my money, I'm good. I feel like 2 weeks is like long enough though. So, yeah, I've never heard a weekly situation.
I also think like it's going to teach me more discipline in the sense of like, I don't want to get in that mentality to be like, hey, I can go spend up my check because in 5 days I'm going to get another check, So like, it just teaches me more.
Yeah, this have some extremely detailed Excel sheets or something like that. But what was I gonna say? This is deep. No, because like I think about this way too much, more than the normal person, and I think it's like a result of me overthinking.
Probably.
And whole thing of do you tell people how much money you make?
Okay, this is a good question.
And what?
This is a good question. Continue.
I have a right to overthink because it's just kind of like, I don't think so. I think that should be like a private thing. And I feel like you should just let people estimate. Because I always naturally cringe. Just me. Just me. Naturally cringe when someone kind of like boasts about, not boast, but just kind of like, humble brag their like money situation. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that should be like private and like you should let the position itself speak.
For itself, yeah.
But here's where I overthink though. You flip it to the other side and um the Patrick Mahomes. Okay, Patrick Mahomes actually started this, my overthinking, because I was like, when people when your salary's up in the public, now with that huge contract, Dak and Deshaun Watson are like kind of looking at that like, oh, okay, that's the bar now. Let me eclipse that bar. Mm-hmm. And then Dak will eclipse that bar. And then Patrick, like, it's just like but like that wouldn't happen if all of that was public. If it was private and everything, so go ahead.
It's just like a big, like, pumping of the chess game. And so, like, everybody wants to be the top dog. So, like, to answer your question, I really don't like to talk finances unless, like I said, like, with my close friends, because, like, that's the only people I trust. Like, I'm very selective about who I talk to finances with. But I do get where you're coming from, because, like, I do kind of cringe when somebody's like, oh, you make this amount of money, like, I make, this, like, amount of money, because I'm just like, that isn't what life is about, in my opinion. But, like, if somebody asks me what I make an hour, like, I'll tell them whatever. But, like, I'm never one to be like, yeah, like, look at my dinero. I used to have that problem, like, when I would, like, drink or whenever I would just, like, growing up, because, like, I was living off my parents' money. But now, like, I have my own check, like, I just made my own first check. I'm like, I don't want to be that person anymore. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, money doesn't, like, control me. Like, I'm not flexing.
Yeah.
Because, like, I used to have a big problem where, like, I would, like, drink and I would pull out my wallet and, like, show all my yeah, like, it was a problem.
Hey, you're that guy.
It was a problem.
But yeah, it's just like, because you don't, it's so weird. Because, like, people just look at you different. But I get it. I think when, like, I only told my parents just because my parents don't care. They're just like, they think I'm broke all the time. So it's like,
your parents are the most unbothered parents I think I've ever met.
Yeah, because like they've been around the world. They know things. So what would my 24-year-old self bring to them? But I only told, and I was like, and this is weird. I was kind of hesitant to tell my siblings, but I wasn't super hesitant because, like, they're low key kind of my parents in a way too, because they've been around the world as well. Because, like, they're in their late 30s. They know, like, they were high schoolers when I was like a kid, whatever. So I only told, family, just straight up like family. And so, it's just like, I don't know. I overthink about it a lot because, but I did tell my people at the firm, coworker, but I feel like that's good because, especially with these people that were kind of my age, we're all in the same boat. So it's like, it was nice knowing what their salary was, just so not like to compete with them, but just to see, like, okay, that's the bar. Okay, if I get offered a little bit down of that, then I'll be like, what's going on, type of thing. Mm-hmm. I want to get my, like, fair share. So it's just all about attitude to people. Yeah.
Like, I think for me, so, like, I work in a company where, they promote from within. So, like, my boss is like the rental manager for like the location I work in. I'm just like, all right, like I look at her as like, okay, like I want to learn as much as possible, like you said, because like I one day want to get to that position. So like I don't ask like what she's been paid. I'm just like, all right, let me try to like take some things that like she's gonna teach me and like expand on it and make some ways that I can learn and like be my own person, be innovative and creative, and I can work my way up to like her salary and all that stuff. Like I've never been one to be like, oh, what's the head person's salary up in here? I'm like, no, I want to work for it. Like I want teach me and then I'll work up my way up for it. But like a lot of people are just like, let's get to the top right away. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. So it's
And
definitely
it's nice because like my manager is around my age. So like I'm the youngest person in the office. Like low key, I like working with older people. Like they're all goofy in there. Like they're people in like 50s, 60s. Like they're just chilling. But, like the guy that I'm working with, the guy that I told you that is a fifth, he has been there for 17 years. But like I like it because like I have somebody to relate to, and then I can see other people like how like they have advanced in their career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. So yeah, it's a touchy subject, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say like so like in my office, like nobody talks about like right now, nobody talks about money, nobody talks about like the pandemic, or we don't talk about politics.
Oh, really? Interesting.
It's just everybody's like touchy. So like the other day, we have our bill collector lady. I was in the lunchroom making my lunch, and she was in there too. And we have to stand 6 feet apart, so she was waiting for me.
Wait. What'd you make for lunch? Rice.
What I have this day? I had chicken.
Oh, okay. No rice?
Hey, rice was a jambalaya. Yeah.
That's a must. Okay, continue.
But anyways, yeah. So she's over there, and she was like Josh, and I was like, her name is Julie, and she is like, her husband's 64. She's like in her late 50s. But anyways, so she was like, Josh, do you like red wine or white wine? I was like, where is this conversation going? And she was like, I don't know how you flow, but like, let's talk about like the coronavirus. And everybody's just like, oh, but she's like one of those ones that like, she's one of those people that believes like, like it's in God's hand, it's in God's control. So like, let everybody free and let God like, do his work. So I was like, okay. Well, and she's like, so like, what is your opinion? I just like went straight to the lunchroom. I was like, I'm trying to eat. I'm on my break. I'm off the clock right now.
You didn't say anything?
No, I didn't say that.
What?
Nope. That's the last. I'm the new guy. The
That's
last
his opinion or something?
I'm the newest guy in the office. The last thing I need is for her to go tell somebody, be like, liquid and blah blah. I was like, that's a trap. That's a trap.
I get it. Yeah, that's where you got to hit them with you got to let people do what they want or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, something neutral, extremely neutral.
Yeah. I was like, this is a trap question. I was like, I'm not baiting for this.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so yeah. In conclusion with that question, the money thing, I just kind of look at it as like, I don't think that should be your focus. Like yes, it's big, but like I feel like your position should, I don't know, the impactness of your position should be of trying to flex or something, whatever. But
because like I look at it as like that'd be like my direct boss being like, yeah, I make this much, instead of being like, hey, I'm the branch rental manager. Like, like I feel like that speaks for itself. Like, all right, dang, like you're already a manager of a company at like 25, 26.
Yeah. Like if you see a guy and he's like 30 years old and he's a lawyer and he's like kind of successful at it, you just kind of just do the calculation yourself and move on.
Like he makes good money. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're nice, you're good with it. So yeah.
I'm about to like get business cards in 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't know how to like handle this. Like, I'm not gonna go up to somebody and give my business card like in the middle of a pandemic. And, like, so, like like I don't know how to handle it.
Read the room. That's funny. When I was an intern at that firm this spring, they were all getting their business cards. I'm glad I didn't say anything, but like I low-key was like, yo, can I get a business card? Like I'm an intern, so like they'd have been like, yeah, get out of here, but I don't know.
So they were like, yeah, like in 2 weeks you're gonna have to like sit down and we're gonna like go through like setting up business cards. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was just like, where am I gonna get these business cards out at? Like could I be like at Walmart being like, here you go? Like,
wait, I really want to get in this Will and Jada thing, but okay. What was it? One second. Okay, whatever. So okay, here's a question. If whoever is like your mentor at PENSKE, not mentor as in like someone that's like 2 years ahead of you to
okay,
where you might want to be, it's like option, a realistic option.
okay.
And wouldn't it be nice if they told you how much they made? As in like not a bragging thing, but just kind of like, okay, just giving you guidance type of thing.
What is that gonna do for me?
It will give you a goal of like, okay, so if some random business offered you a position.
Okay.
Let's just play with numbers real quick. Okay. This is imaginary. Let's say if salary, let's just say 50K or something. Let's just say, what's Penske's competitor?
Ryder.
Ryder?
Yeah, Ryder.
Oh, what if Ryder was like, yo, we'll pay you 60, let's say you're making 50K salary, what you're doing. What if Ryder came up to you and said, hey, we'll give you 60K right now. But you had in mind from your mentor that if I stayed for a year or two, I would be making 70K. It would just be nice to know like what your future can realistically be.
Right.
So,
Okay, so like this is where like it gets like tricky for me because like no matter what you do in life, you can always make more money. So like if you live by like that motto, like you're never gonna be happy because you can be like there's money to be made elsewhere, you know?
yeah.
So for me, I'm like, okay, it's not gonna look good on my resume that I just started another job and like within like a year or two, however long the timeline is, like I immediately switched to another one.
Answer it. You're conscious of that?
Yes, that's a real thing.
Wait, you're conscious of something where like if it would just look fishy if you were at somewhere for 2 months?
Yeah, because like they have every right in the interview room to like look at your resume and be like, "Oh, I see you were at Penske only for 60 days. Like, why did you only like stop?" Because like I'm a firm believer in like even if I hated this job here at Penske, which I don't, like I love it, I'd at least work there for 6 months, at least. Like it's the same thing like that. I believe like people talk about dropping out of college like within the first week or two. I'm like at least give it a semester.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like at least try it for 6 months. At least give it a semester. Go through a trial period. If you still hate it, venture off into your next journey.
Okay.
I'm conscious of that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually glad that, the people that are like 2 years or 3 years ahead of me in a situation, I don't know why they tell me their salary or like they tell me how much they made, but like, I feel like there's a mutual thing of like, I'm not in it. Like, I'm not trying to like pocket watch. I'm like trying to like, it's just a goal in mind. It's just like, I just want to get my fair share.
Correct.
So, yeah.
But do you think if you didn't know their salaries, you wouldn't get your fair share? Like the company's just gonna, switch up and then just like, nah, we gonna immediately undervalue that
No,
position.
no, no.
But I also think like from the way like it's coming out of like your like mouth and all stuff, like it's kind of like a small symptom of FOMO.
FOMO. Interesting. FOMO. Wait. FOMO as in like,
You're scared about like missing out on what you should have because you don't know all the information about a certain position.
Mm,
Didn't
yeah,
think of
I
that.
am. I have FOMO.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Because like, okay, like hypothetically, like if say for instance, like you're a new employee to like the company, and I've been working there for 3 years, and we're both accountants, and I'm making 80K after working there for I don't know 3 years, like I said. And so like you come on, and then when it gets to your 3 year mark, and now I'm at year 6, you're only making 68K a year. You're gonna be like, wait. Well, Josh was making 80K a year 3. Like, why am I not making 80K and we're at the same position? Which I understand. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's also like, why do you think the company you're working for would undervalue you that much? Why are you working for them?
You're
If you
potting.
think if you think you're gonna be undervalued that much, why are you letting them? Why are you
Yeah,
taking their?
that's true. That yeah.
Because like,
It's a very like what do you call it? The yin and yang. Just
yeah,
like I'm a
okay, so
trust, but not fully trust. You
yeah,
know?
I agree with you. You're skeptical of everything. I question everything. So like,
Yes.
my boss, she didn't tell me like how much she makes or whatever, but what she did tell me is who I replaced, which is interesting. She told me on the first day.
Replaced.
Yes, like
Dang, that's harsh.
on
How'd you feel? It's
my
like,
first, I mean, it's just the way capitalism works. So like,
yeah.
it's just competition. Like, on to the next. Anyways, so it was weird because I didn't like ask her anything. The first 2 weeks on my job, so like the next week 3, people kept coming up to me and making just like little like remarks that I was like, what the heck is going on? So like, we have hikers, and the hikers are like, they go to different Penske locations within the Houston area to pick up other trucks and bring them back to our yard. And so a lot of the hikers are black. And so when I give them it's my job to give them like the sheet on tell them where to go and where they're bringing this truck to, bringing it back, yada yada yada. So as I would give them the sheets, they'd be like, I'm glad they brought another brother along. We found our black brother replacement. And I was just like, what is going on? And so like one day I was like walking, I was like, Delaney, like I'm like just curious. I was like, who worked here before me? And she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. She was like, me and the other guy, the guy that's the fifth, we have been running the shop for like months now. So like we've been asking for like another associate to be hired on. She's like, I will say before you, it was another black guy, and like the hikers weren't supposed to tell you that because like we didn't want you to feel like insecure at work or think like we have to reach some status quo because like I'm the only black rental associate at my office. So she was just like, I don't want you to feel like uncomfortable or anything. But she's like, yeah, he was black. Like he had to leave. He moved to Alabama, blah, blah, blah. But she's like, I want you to know, like, we didn't hire you just because you were black.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So.
I've had like, I don't know how you feel about this. Like, before we venture off into the Will and Jada topic that you want to talk about. But anyway, so like, like the whole like affirmative action, right?
Yeah.
Do you think affirmative action benefits or harms people in the workforce?
I don't know if I don't have a clear definition of it. So I don't I only know it with colleges. Because isn't affirmative action like if a minority wanted, right? If a minority wanted to go to a certain college?
It's everything. It's like a college, the workforce, like it's everything.
Really? In the workforce too?
Yeah.
Like if someone wasn't like necessarily qualified for something?
Certain workforces, I should say, not every single like profession, but certain they are protected. Yeah. It's like, do you remember like this is back to college, like the UT case, like it was very prevalent. I think her name was Abby Fisher. I could be wrong.
I don't.
So
Oh.
her name was Abby Fisher, and like this went all the way up to the Supreme Court. This was like within the last decade, definitely between 2010 and 2020. So Abby Fisher, again, could be botching her name, Abby, whatever.
Yeah.
she didn't get accepted into UT, even though she had the qualifications, because she was like top 10, top 12, something like that. She had all the qualifications, but they chose minority students over her because they had to meet the status quo. And she was like, hey, like that goes against like affirmative action. Like she took it up to the Supreme Court. I don't remember what the decision was, but that's definitely something that happened within our lifetime.
And I kind of remember. I feel like that happens a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like reverse affirmative action, right? I thought that like benefits minorities.
It does, but so she was white.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I didn't get in because UT has a status quo about how many minority students they let in. So like, if they didn't have this status quo, I probably would have been let in, you know?
Dang. It's getting
So it's
deep.
like, yeah, so it's like, okay, like how, it's just interesting because like I want to study more about affirmative action, like and understand like how it actually like works and like is effective. So like in my head, I'm like, okay, like how would you feel if DBU had one spot left and you had more qualifications than me, but I was a black student, so I got in, or like, you know, hiring somebody solely off of skin color, you know, like.
I'm low key with the affirmative action situation because I feel like your board, like this goes for like company boards and stuff. Like, I just feel like your board should represent
America.
country.
Yeah, agreed.
And this goes really deep. I don't know, just like I feel like your surroundings should be similar to the country surroundings, even the
Correct.
world. Like, I feel like it's not cool to have one, like, just like friends of just one culture. That's whack. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you should be friends with like all cultures,
Right.
or like try whatever. Because yeah, I'm yeah, it's weird. I'm weirdly into it because honestly, as a as a white dude, I apply for jobs like I'm the most generic person. So I just kind of have that mentality of like they have plenty of white guys like me. So I just kind of have the attitude of like, apply for this job, apply for like just kind of like if they reject me, whatever, like I get it. But yeah, yeah. When you put it like that, I'm kind of like leaning towards that, like
Yeah.
hiring a minority who might be more a little like a tad underqualified than someone who is very qualified.
Right. So like I think in my office, like in the rental department, I'm the only black one, but like in the total office, I think right now we have maybe 10 to 12 people. Like it's super like tiny, but there's only two blacks. It's me and a guy named Lester. So
Yeah.
like it's just like interesting to see like the all walks of life like in the building because like we have like our receptionist is Hispanic. Most of the service people are Hispanic or white, and like low key they be back there bumping fire in the break. The other day,
Yeah.
I was back there and they were bumping. They were listening to some old stuff. She Will by Drake and Lil Wayne.
Dang.
Like they were going way back. Then I was like, we're not allowed. Like we kind of like have to separate rental and service because like COVID. But I was like, dang, they're back there bumping that fire, and they were singing their heart out back there. Like it was like the service department was out there like jamming.
You will.
Yes, do it for the realest. Yeah, they were ugly.
Yeah.
They were ugly singing. But like, yeah, I'm kind of for it because like before those parameters were put in place, like that wasn't a thought. Like that was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And it does get deep because it's like, sure, I'm not gonna say like some people will get hosed because of it, and like I'm aware of that. But like there are plenty of people already getting hosed because these parameters weren't in place. So these CEOs and these boards didn't have to even think about minority people beforehand.
Yeah. And this like kind of brings up to the whole like lately like Nike, like they're trying to be woke and like things. But you look at their board and it's all white. You
Yeah.
know,
You're
cool.
not
You
woke.
took up the Redskins and all that. Cool. You only did it because it's cool now. Oh my
Right.
goodness. It's so
It's just,
stupid.
it's just like like you tweet out like you're not woke, you just have common sense, and also
Yeah.
like the same thing like with these. And this is very controversial. It's fine. But these like wanting the monuments to be like torn down. Like I understand it. Like I get it. But like, what is that doing to help?
Yeah.
Like if I go tear down Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee like statues, like am I going to get a gratification for a couple minutes? Yeah, but what is that really doing to fix the problem? Because they're
Yeah.
already there. The problem is those people and their relatives and their ancestors, like it's their mindset. You have to fix their mindset. But like tearing that stuff down, that's just symbolism. And that's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like what you going to put in your resume? Responsible for tearing down Jefferson Davis statue. Like no.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Wait, can we end that real quick? That whole Nike, like everyone kind of like not selling the Redskins merch.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
What's your thing on that?
Okay, so the Redskins have been along for how long? I don't even know when their franchise was. It's almost as old as the Cowboys. It's like up there. But I'm sitting back and I'm like, okay, I can understand why people think it's offensive and all that stuff. But like now you just wanna take
Yes.
the market. Like you had this whole time to like, take this whole stance. But now that people are forcing you and kind of cornering you into like, you're like, oh, in order for us to stay in business, like, like we got to do this. Like they don't truly believe like what they're doing is wrong. They're just doing it because, it's the right thing to do. It's a woke thing to do.
Yes. It's so stupid. Honest, like in a stubborn way, because I'm like me, in a weird stubborn way. In a weird stubborn way. I feel like I hope, like I just hate when things are forced to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a weird way, I'm kind of like, if I was Dan Snyder or something, I'd be like, okay, don't sell my merch. Don't. I'm fine. I just low key. It would be interesting to see if he just like keeps going,
Mm-hmm.
like just doesn't like what do you call it? Doesn't change anything just because Nike and Amazon aren't selling my things anymore. Like yeah, he's gonna lose a lot of money, but I feel like it'd be interesting to see if he just didn't change. I don't
And
know.
like the Redskins are a top 10, top 20 sporting team in the world. Like they ain't gonna be missing much. Like they're still very worthy, even though they suck.
Yeah, I just hate when people force things to in like serious issues.
How do you feel about the NBA allowing players to wear certain victims' names on the back of their jersey, such as like a Trayvon Martin,
Yeah,
George Floyd? Like, how do you feel about that?
that's fine. Yep, I have no problem. Not gonna do anything, but what about
Exactly.
you?
Well, like, okay, my problem is just like we live in such a society that like they think that if they make a tweet, a post, like that's like good enough, and it's like sure, like make people aware, but like y'all do that every day,
Yeah,
and we just keep ignoring it every day. So obviously, like it's not something like you have to go be a part of something, like actually like do something. But people just like prime example, you seen all those people during the protest, they took their 2 seconds of fame, and then like they went on
yeah,
about their way. Like that's just like the world we live in right now.
yeah. I'm way too stubborn for this world.
Mood.
I'm just like I hate the whole narrative of like, oh, if you're silent on this issue, you support the bad people. You
I disagree
know,
with
my
100%.
goodness gracious. Like the whole like ICE thing lately, like
Oh,
like
deportation.
international students. Yes, that's a whole issue. I've seen things like, oh, if you supported international students, why aren't you voicing your opinion more? Why
Okay,
aren't
so like, just so we're clear, is the whole thing like they have to be in a physical classroom because they have a school visa? That's correct, right?
Yeah, they have to, what is it? Their schooling has to be have a in-person option.
Okay.
I think it's going to be that big of a deal because a lot of these colleges, it's looking like they're just going to have, and when they say in-person, it could very well still be online. Like
a Zoom?
No, more like if it's in person, that professor still has the power to say, attendance isn't mandatory. Like I've seen a lot of situations where like, yes, it's an in-person class, but attendance isn't mandatory and the lectures are all online. So it's just kind of like a hint, like, hey, you can be online even though this is an in-person class. And it's all about the wording. I think this really affects the Ivy Leagues because the Ivy Leagues straight up are just like everything's online, nothing in person. And Ivy Leagues and international students is kind of like a combo. So yeah, that's the bigger situation. So the Ivy Leagues will have to like it's all about the wording. That's it. So, but I just say it's just like the culture of like if you're silent about an issue, you're supporting the bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, what in the world am I gonna do? Like, I don't have the ability to do anything. What's my tweet gonna do? What's my resharing on Instagram gonna do?
So like, I mean, I've been called out for that too, and I think since like everything like started, I've made one tweet and it just said go vote, like something like simple, like I was like, like you can protest all this right now, but like it doesn't mean anything if you don't show up to the polls, because that's the biggest problem we have.
Yeah.
Only 50% of the people go to vote, and only 20% of the people go to vote during like local elections. Like that's a huge problem that we have in our country. So like,
but you've been called out.
Well, I've been like called out, being like, oh, why haven't you like said any more, like like done anything? Because like number one, that's not my thing. Like social media, I literally just I people watch.
Yeah.
And like I retweet and peep, but like I'm not one of those people that's gonna post every day about a certain like topic. Like if you ask me, I'll answer it. But like there are people every day that's like, you're part of the problem if you're not saying nothing. You're not using your platform.
Yeah. It's like I have like 800 followers. What am I gonna do? Like it's just yeah. It's a weird thing. It's just don't force things. I don't know. It's a weird situation. But you got any other deep comments about that?
Nah, I've held you from talking about Will and Jada for so long. Go
All
ahead.
right, Will and Jada. All right. Let's see. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. If you were married and you were 45 and you had a big argument, and y'all like took a break for a month, would you go cheat? Man, this is so nasty, man.
Okay. Is this some like Ross and Rachel type stuff? Like we were on a break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know the full situation?
No, because I'll be at work.
In summary, Will and Jada apparently, and this is all them talking. Who even knows this is true? If this is true, Jada and Will had some argument and had a fight or something, and they took a break. And then Jada got really close to this August guy and had relations. And then Jada came back and they meshed together like normal.
Okay, first of all, I'm not a believer.
They were still married the whole time. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not a believer in breaks.
Yeah.
Never been a believer in breaks. Either you're with me or you're not. Like, go your separate ways, be friends, like, whatever. So, like, if we're even coming to the talk of having a break, just end it.
Yeah.
Because you low-key just want thought around. That's what breaks are meant for, thought. But if you've been married for that long and y'all take a break, number one, either get separated, say like you're being separated, get a divorce. I would not cheat because like you've been committed to somebody for that long. Like how heartless can you be?
and you're technically still married. That's the thing. Like it's not like you're dating or anything. It's like you're married. That's still like going on in the background. So, yeah, that situation is so nasty. I've always kind of thought that Will and Jada's thing wasn't like, everybody kind of looked up to them. I always had a feeling that they weren't as perfect as society
Who looked up to Will
thought.
and Jada?
Huh?
Who looked up to Will
That's
and
so
Jada?
huge relationship goals. You never
Who?
thought, like the Jada, J. Cole said that Jaden will love. Like everyone looked up to them. They were like, black excellence. You know what I mean? So, yeah. What, you really?
That
Well,
missed me.
in
I mean,
Dallas they were. But I always had an inkling, an itch. They weren't perfect as everyone thought because Jada. It's funny how Tupac gets wrapped in this because Jada, Pac were like low key a thing. They grew up together. Tupac had definitely feelings for her, and and when Tupac died, she literally got married that next year to Will Smith, and it's like, like not I wouldn't say Tupac love of her life, but like it was like her partner in crime and stuff, and then you just marry another dude in a year, and it's like,
rebound.
yeah, it's like a little messy, but the nastiest part of this is like, so August, Will and Jada were, how we call it, mentoring August. Like he was in their house, like he moved in. Yeah, they called him like their son in a way, because like he's like mid-20s when he moved in, 30s, and so the fact that she cheated with a dude that is like younger and was like considered their son.
How old is he?
Huh?
How old is he?
I think he is in his 30s. You've heard of him, right? August Alsina?
I've heard of him.
One big song back then. He's 27 right now.
And Jada
He's
is
like 50, 48 or something like that. So,
Jada.
yeah. So yeah, that's like the extra nasty part of this. So, yeah, it oh, it was so cringe at the end of this thing. They were like something something blah blah, and they're like bad marriages for life, and they like fist bumped. Oh, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is so sad. Yeah,
Did
it's
she come
definitely.
out? Did she come out and admit that she was cheating?
She didn't say straight up. Oh, the entanglement thing. Have you heard of that word on Twitter? Have you not seen that?
No.
All different people. Entanglement. Entanglement. You didn't hear that word?
No.
So okay. So Jada or like Will said, okay, were you with August or something like that? And she was like, well, we weren't in a relationship. We were in an entanglement. And Will didn't have any of that. He was like, oh, okay. So y'all were like in a relationship. And Jada kind of danced around it. I was like, women. And and like there's like some memes of like Future, like, yo, that's a nice word to use. Like
he's gonna use that in the next track.
so yeah, entanglement. Will was have nothing of that. Yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, it's like they gotta get divorced now. Like my goodness.
As soon as the podcast is over with, I'm typing in entanglement on Twitter.
Yeah, have you not seen? It's been everywhere. So yeah, go on Twitter. But yeah, that's all I have on Will and Jada. That's just nasty. Just and August. Oh, here's the other thing. Oh, and Kiki Palmer got dragged into this. Did you see
She
that?
gets dragged into everything.
Did you not see that part?
No.
Yeah, you're missing out. But like, yeah, Kiki Palmer. So August, like, at the end of the day, he caught feelings for Jada. Unrealistic feelings. Like, okay, what? Jada's gonna like suddenly divorce Will Smith and he's gonna like marry August. That's not gonna happen. So it's just like August should have like knew his lane in the situation, and like he was the one that like low key snitched about this whole thing. But then Kiki Palmer said something like passive aggressive. So apparently Kiki Palmer and August were a thing back then, and so Kiki said something passive aggressive, and then August like replied to her tweet just randomly and talking about, oh, you're jealous because you weren't my official man or official girl, and people were just like, he's taking his anger out on Kiki, and yeah. So Will, Jada, August, Kiki, who else gets dragged into? Margot Robbie's getting dragged into this. That Suicide Squad actor, I think. Whatever. Yeah. Is that it? So many perspectives in this situation, but it's just I don't need that. It's just like personally, like it would not fly, but just seeing it is what it is. But it would just suck having that personally. But yeah, that's all I got. You got any extra comments on that? This too much drama.
People are stupid.
People are stupid. People are bored. Yeah, I don't.
You ain't finna watch baseball come back in 2 weeks, dog?
No.
No.
I mean, it is interesting with it being a 60-game season, so like every game is on the line. But man, it's gonna be weird. I just have a feeling that like with the NBA and MLB, when they like try to get back like a month into it, they're gonna shut down again. Just with everyone just paranoid and cases are gonna go up. So I don't know. Are you excited for baseball to come back?
Man, I don't care about baseball.
Yeah, you do.
But
in front.
But my thing is like, I'm curious to see these NBA players trying to follow this quote unquote rules in the bubble because the food they're getting is not living scrumptious.
Yeah.
That food is.
Yeah, it's been funny seeing them actually go in. Like this is actually like a thing. I heard like when they enter the bubble, they had to take 5 tests, and they had to be in their room for 24 hours afterwards. And I was like, geez, like super strict. I mean, the people that are like the players that are like gamers and things, they're gonna be okay. Just like bring their old gaming setup and everything. But
Your boy Woj might not be reporting no more.
Nah, he's okay. He's okay. What is it? You better get on TikTok before it gets banned.
Good. I ain't worried about that.
On TikTok.
I hope it gets banned.
Man.
I'll stop having to hear these annoying dances all the time.
It's not all dances though. That's what Twitter makes it seem like. There's so much more to it.
No, it's not.
Old people are bored. They're just trying to hate on a new generation. I don't like it. Like it's like Vine, but like people make fun of the dances and things. That's just how it is. But like
I didn't even have a Vine.
You didn't have a Vine? Okay, yeah.
I didn't even have a Yik Yak. I didn't have none of that.
Yik Yak.
We need to bring Yik Yak back during times like this. Yik Yak needs to come back.
Yik Yak was messy. That's all.
During
Only
the pandemic,
experienced Yik Yak at DBU.
yes. During this time, with a pandemic going on, protests, everything, we need Yik Yak.
Just extra gossiping. Mm-hmm. Dang. How do you feel about President Kanye in 2036?
President Kanye.
It's gonna happen in 2036, not now, but 2036.
You think he'll be the president?
Yes, because he's gonna learn the ways. He's gonna learn the game, and he's gonna actually be serious. Now he's just kind of just playing with people and
Promoting
fun,
an album.
promoting an album, and getting 50-year-old white people mad. Yeah, it's stupid, but I don't know. They canceled the state fair. Oh, Cam Newton to the Patriots.
Oh yes, I totally forgot about him.
That's gonna be interesting.
I mean, it definitely makes them. I'm not gonna say they're a Super Bowl contender. It definitely makes them at least favorites to win the division.
I'm like low key becoming a fan of Cam Newton in the same way I'm a fan of James Harden, just because he's just like the disrespect is too much.
Right.
Like Cam is that dude. Like let's not get that twisted.
Yes, I think he's gonna bring out 2010 Cam.
Yeah. It's just like he's super motivated now. He's in a new space. Like I hope they do good. But
he's in the easy division, the AFC East.
Mm-hmm. Like Carolina's been throwing shade on him. Like, yeah, whatever. What are you saying?
I said we ain't worried about Buffalo. I think they'll win the AFC East. I don't know why Carolina is throwing shade on him when he made that franchise relevant.
Exactly. Like they just, I don't know. Well, they had that. I think it was like a month ago or something. They had the tweet of like, who's the greatest Panther of all time, and it was like 3 images, and it's like reply, retweet, like. Have you seen those situations?
Yes. Yeah.
And Cam Newton wasn't in one of those 3. And this is from like the Panthers official account on Twitter. So it's just like it had like Jake Delhomme and like the other guy and like Steve Smith. Like, yeah, it's like Cam Newton is like kind of the greatest Panther of all time. I know that's not saying a lot, but like let's get that statement clear. But I don't like the disrespect. But
how far do you think the Patriots will go with Cam Newton?
Wild card.
Fair enough.
Wild card. Win a game, and then we'll see if the extra magic comes up.
Yeah, I say divisional round right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Buffalo's good, right?
Yeah, they are actually good. I just don't trust Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that division is just sketch. But
I mean, he's what, the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the AFC now? Like you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Lamar, and Deshaun.
Wait, Cam? Wait.
Yes.
Cam.
He's definitely a top 5.
That's a bold take.
Name 5 better quarterbacks in the AFC.
I mean,
I might be missing something. Name 5 quarterbacks in the AFC that are better than Cam.
I was about to mention Ben Roethlisberger. But, like, what happens to Ben, man? Where is he? Is he still the quarterback for the team?
Yeah, he's the first last year.
The AFC fell off.
Yeah, I have an interesting take with a Big Ben. I don't know. He's just weird. He's just different now.
You have an interesting take?
I just don't think he's the same. Like, I don't look at Big Ben the same.
Oh, yeah, definitely not the same. I think the reason why he's like any relevant now is just because he's just built strong. Like his body mass has been able to extend his career. You know,
Right.
if he was like some skinny running quarterback, he wouldn't be relevant. But
Again, so name 5 quarterbacks.
I don't feel like it. You're probably right, but I mean, yeah, I'm not going there. Not Derek Carr. Not Derek Carr or
All right, let's run through these quarterbacks right quick. AFC.
Who's the quarterback for the Chargers now?
They drafted that first round pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
Justin Herbert. All right,
Oh yeah. All right.
The AFC East has Josh Allen, Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, and I don't know who the quarterback of Miami is. Tua. The AFC South has Deshaun, Ryan Tannehill. Who the heck is the quarterback of the Jaguar? Minshew, whatever his name is.
Quarterbacks stink now.
And then Phillip Rivers. And then, let's see, AFC North, you have Baker Mayfield. You have
Lamar,
Big Ben, and Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Oh yeah.
And then the AFC West, you have Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, and there's one more team I'm missing.
Who's the Broncos quarterback?
Oh, Drew Lock.
Oh, he's still there. Where did Phillip Rivers go?
Indianapolis.
Oh, interesting. I honestly think like the NFL last year, like it was the first year of a new era of the NFL of just so many young quarterbacks now. Yeah, you might have a point with the top 5. NFC is killing though, quarterback wise.
Yes.
Yeah, they have all the quarterbacks. Yeah, you have a point with the AFC. AFC is just trash. Man, but all
That's
right.
why Patrick Mahomes could at least get to a couple more Super Bowls because the AFC is garbage.
That is true. Yeah. Were you shocked by that contract?
No.
I was shocked in like the duration of the years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Years? It was crazy seeing a like contract through 2031. I was like, whoa. I was just kind of wondering, like, couldn't he had signed like a 5-year contract and then got even more money those next 5 years? Just when, contracts are just – because I feel like $50 million a year is going to be nothing in 2030.
Who knows? He might get another extension.
Dang. But I think Mahomes just wanted to go all in and just, like, get all my money now.
Well, yeah, especially, like, whenever you're worth the most right now because he's coming off a Super Bowl win.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get paid $400 million just guaranteed. Like, just to know that, I think it's just comfort and all that. So, but all right. You got any other last second topics? Wrap this up.
You want to talk about your boy Joey Chestnut winning his 13th hot dog?
It's normal now. Like, that man's a GOAT.
You got to put him in the GOAT category.
Like, it's so absurd because he keeps breaking his own records. Like, the second placers are always so far behind.
By like 30 hot dogs.
Straight up competing with himself. Straight up. Like, his 2010 performance would still beat everyone right now. It's crazy.
So GOATs, we got Michael Jordan, we got LeBron, we got Tom Brady, we got Serena, and then Joey Chestnut's got to be in there.
If you're going to talk about the most dominant players, Joey is in there. Major League Eating is a thing. Like, I'm not disrespecting Major League Eating.
Major League Eating. MLE.
That's a thing. The MLE. The MLE is more interesting than the MLB. I will die on that hill. Like,
The MLB. Sean, how many hot dogs?
Yeah.
How many hot dogs do you think you eat in 10 minutes?
I actually did this once. I actually I actually had it all set up.
Boy.
And yeah, it's very I
When
know.
was this?
This was high school. And I was like I think I had 10 hot dogs because I was like, I'm not eating 10 hot dogs in 10 minutes. And I think I ate like 7 or 8 hot dogs. So
did you eat them continuously? Or were you taking like a little break and then
no, I was with them. I was simultaneously.
Okay.
All right. Well, it was very whatever. But yeah, and I didn't eat to enjoy. I straight up just was eating the hot dogs, just boom, just going crazy. And
now next weekend I'm gonna need you to go to the store. I'm gonna need you to buy some hot dogs. I need you to reenact this.
I mean, you gotta get into it too.
I will. Next podcast. Next Saturday's podcast. We're doing it live from our kitchens.
But this man ate 75 hot dogs in 10 or 12 minutes or something. The way Joey eats is so nasty too. So nasty. Just watching him just makes you want to vomit. And because he straight up just
chugs it in his mouth.
Huh?
He just straight up just be chugging it back in his mouth.
Yes. He dips it in the water. Oh, he dips it in the water and just eats it. And it's just wow. I don't know. But it was weird this year though, because it was it wasn't at the normal place, the Coney Island. It was just everyone was 6 feet apart and stuff like that. And I felt like that kind of helped Joey because there was no distractions and it was just straight up just him. But yeah, it's
he ain't got to retire. He could keep doing this.
Yeah. And the thing about it, he's built normal, skinny. He's not skinny, but he's just he's not chunky. He's just kind of does a normal dad bod thing. And so, yeah, if we're gonna talk about most dominant players, I'm throwing Joey in there. I'm throwing Joey Chestnut is the Michael Jordan.
I think he's won 13 out of the 14 he's entered. He's a GOAT.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he lost to that one Asian guy that ended up cheating. He was taking PEDs for eating hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
How you take PEDs for eating hot dogs?
Just expand that stomach, I guess. But yeah, it's a real deal. They have all types of eating, but yeah, it's nasty. But I think the top woman ate 40 hot dogs. Nothing compared to Joey. Yeah, I think the second place was in the 40s, and Joey was 75. Yeah, that's absurd.
He's gonna get to 80 soon.
Will he not explode later on in life or something? Just eat like that.
Okay, I'm curious though. His poops have to be nasty. Yeah. Am I wrong? They got to be. They got to be explosive.
I want to see Joey a week after the situation.
His
daily life. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Because I think they low key vomit afterwards. Not straight up they're kind of spitting out a little bit, just gagging, and yeah, I don't know. It's a whole ordeal. It's bad. Yeah, it's yeah, Major League Eating, they have all types of food. Whatever you think of, they got it. I think they even have how many crab legs you can eat or something. It's really weird. It's
we need to go run up a cornhole tournament.
What?
We need to go run up a cornhole tournament. They got on ESPN. There's money to be made.
Cornhole needs an update because it could be really cool, but every time you turn on the TV, it's just 50-year-old white guys, mustaches. and it's just
they need
like
some
not
culture.
cool.
They need some culture in there.
Yeah, like it
They
could be
need Migos
live.
playing. They need Migos playing in the background. People just toss them.
Seriously, like no one's like yelling. It's just like kind of quiet and things. But do you ever like was like watching TV and then you like see cornhole on like ESPN2? You're like, what? It's always like a Sunday afternoon, and yeah, I don't know. Cornhole could be fun, but they're missing out.
We taking this road trip to Gulf Shores, Alabama, or to Florida?
No, no, not with this climate. No. And with like the person that is making these plans, she's not listening to the and she knows this too. Like we would straight up say to Rachel, we're like, no, your plans, like she doesn't, her accuracy with plans isn't very accurate. Like, you know.
She's the definition of 2 for 7.
Yeah. Yeah, just she knows that too, so it's no shade. So
she has no idea what's going on around her. She just wants to go.
yeah, she just yeah. Wait. I want to say something, but she know I would. Okay, whatever I say, I would say it to her face, so it's no shade. You ever like she'll send like a Snapchat story, a Snapchat video of her like ranting or something. Have you received any of those?
All the time.
Do you just skip them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I skip them.
Like,
well, I hear the first 10 words and I'm just like, no.
the one I heard the other day when she was talking about the coffee, I was like, it's about
yeah. Yeah. So it's just yeah, I don't know. But because they're like what? A minute long?
for no reason.
I'm just not gonna listen.
Just like being built for no reason. Jake,
yeah.
no reason.
Exactly. All right, let's wrap this up. Snitch on myself too much.
Go ahead first with the song.
And these song of the weeks, it's not even that big of it. It's just like a song I'm just lately jamming.
Hold on, I got some. Come with the heat.
Oh, are you?
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna put, it's like a throwback, but like it's a classic. A1 Everything by Meek Mill and Kendrick Lamar. This was like 2012. I was weirdly into Meek Mill a lot, like in middle school. Yeah, so throw that in there. So
Mine was, I listened to the Juice WRLD album on the way home yesterday. Mine's Titanic by Juice WRLD.
Which song?
Titanic.
Interesting. That album is going to shred records.
Of course.
I haven't listened to a single track. Albums. Wait, what's the term? Posthumous albums.
Yes.
People that are dead, and it's just weird feeling. Because like the Pop Smoke album last week.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be weird. It's gonna be the first time where we're gonna have 2 straight weeks of the Billboard #1 album being from dead people.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So, but the Juice WRLD album, it's looking like it's gonna sell. It's gonna be the second highest selling album this year. It's gonna be behind The Weeknd. That's crazy.
Right.
Wow. So, Juice WRLD, yeah. So, yeah, it's just weird listening to those albums. I don't know. I'll get to it. But you said Titanic.
Yes.
Nice. Shout outs.
Shout out Penske.
Yeah. No shout outs for me.
Shout out Penske. That's it.
No one deserves a shout out right now. No. No shout outs. Just Penske.
How's your finals? You ain't gonna shout out Texas Tech? No more finals.
Oh no, I'm not shouting out Texas Tech. There's a lot. I'll get through it.
Did you pass?
Yeah. He threw a lot of extra credit. And it was kind of like a wink, like, all right, I'm gonna boost. Like he gave us like a 4 point. He gave us a 4 points extra of the whole grade for an evaluation, a teacher evaluation. I was like, okay, yeah, it's so simple, and so yeah, I did pretty good. Pretty good. But I just know like the extra, like he knew like the whole class was like low key failing. Cause like when you're having the test averages between 50 and 70, like you don't want to be that guy. Like the professor still has to keep his job. So yeah, he was definitely throwing extra credit at us. All right. Today's Saturday. You got any plan?
I might play tennis and or drink some wine today.
Ooh. It's 7-Eleven. Don't they have like the free smoothie thing at 7-Eleven? I guess not now, but
What are you doing today? Taking a nap?
Yes, definitely. Just messing around, you know. No super plans or anything, but might drive around, you know. What?
Go see Rachel. Oh no, she's in California.
Oh yeah.
Go see David and Victoria.
They won't invite me. I'm waiting. I just need an invite. I ask. No. Need an invite. I'm like you now. You're that guy.
Invite only?
Yeah, you're like, I'm not going to ask. Need an invite. Okay. Well, have a good weekend. Peace.
See you.